the channel should be in such a way that it carries the capacity to take the water in the proper way. Sources what is there is not enough to support the population. That also can cause drought. Slowly get converted into deserts where you cannot grow anything at all. There is no enough water at all. Unequal distribution of water between the two states has led to interstate disputes. Hello my dear students, welcome back to the session 4 on the chapter Natural Resources. Last class we learnt about the water resources and also few of the reasons for the decline of water resources. We'll also learn about some other concepts under this, that is first one being flood. So what are floods or what is flood? Flood is overflow of water. When water is supposed to flow in a particular channel and there is an overflow, okay, then that leads to floods. So what exactly are the causes for floods? The first cause being heavy rainfall, melting of snow and sudden release of water from the dams, that is called as flash floods. Okay, these are the main reasons for flood. One more reason being reduction in the carrying capacity of the channel. As I told you, the channel in which the water has to flow, okay, that capacity is reduced, then again it can lead to floods. The third is deforestation, mining and overgrazing, that is increase the run of rainwater and the level of flood rises. Now, how deforestation can lead to floods? Of course, as I told you all, the forest what is there, the roots of the trees what are there or the mud what is there, it has been held tightly by the roots of the trees, and also these forests will act like a sponge to absorb all the rain water, and even the underground water level can increase if there is forest. Now when these forests are cut off, what happens is the water what is there, the rain, when it starts raining, the rainwater just flows off directly and there is no forest, so there is no absorption of the water into the land taking place, and due to this the water level in the channels can increase or the rivers can increase and it can lead to flood. So that is how deforestation is also linked to the floods. Okay, so these are the main three reasons for flood. Next we learn about the effects of flood. What are the adverse effects of flood which we can see? First one being water spreads in the surrounding area and submerges them. Second is cultivated land gets affected, and third, extinction of civilization. So what happens when the floods are coming in or the water, excess of water is there in such a place where there are houses or there are agricultural fields, everything starts submerging, isn't it? They get submerged into the water or water starts filling the houses, and you can see lately there are so many floods which has taken place, and you can see how civilization is getting affected, how people have to be moved from their original places to elsewhere, and how there is a loss of agriculture or the crop which is happening. Also humans as well as the animals in that particular place which is affected by flood is continuously affected financially, physically as well as mentally, because they are losing their homes to live, they are losing their livelihood because of the floods. So this is the adverse effect of flood which we can see. Next is about the flood management. How can we control floods? How can we prevent from flooding of a particular area? First thing is floods can be controlled by dams. Okay, Dams has to be constructed so that the excess water can be collected. One is that. And when we open the gate of the dams also, we should be careful that it is not, the overflow of the water in the dam is not going to create floods, that is flash floods. So we have to be careful with that. Next is channel management controls the flood. The channel should be in such a way that it carries the capacity to take the water in the proper way and not allow the overflowing of the channels. Next is flood hazards reduced by forecasting or flood warning. Okay, a warning can be given due to the weather forecasting so that the hazards which are going to be due to the floods can be reduced. The people who are going to lose their lives can be reduced by giving a warning about the floods. Next is flood may also be reduced by reduction of runoff by increasing the infiltration through appropriate afforestation and the catchment area. Okay, so what exactly we have to do? Wherever deforestation has occurred, we have to go and do afforestation, that is, we have to plant more trees, we have to encourage planting of more trees, and we have to discourage the cutting of the trees, and the forest ecosystem has to be saved so that floods can be reduced. Okay, so these are some of the things which we can do to prevent floods. Next, we have about the drought. What is drought? Drought is scarcity of water. There is no enough of water for irrigation. There is no enough water for supporting our population, human population, that is for drinking purpose, for domestic use. There is no enough of amount of water. Then we can call it as drought. And what are the main reasons for drought? Drought is because of inadequate rainfall, or the arrival of the rainfall is late, then it can cause drought. And also excessive withdrawal of groundwater can also cause drought. That is, the groundwater is there which we are drawing through borewells. Okay, because we are taking out the excess of groundwater and using it up, that also can be the leading cause for drought. And the lack of water for the needs of, as I told you all, irrigation, livestock, industry, human population may be termed as drought, and drought causes a serious damage to plants, animals and human life. Next is about the causes of drought. As I told you, first of all, there is inadequate rainfall is the major cause for drought. So, when annual rainfall is below than normal and less than evaporation, drought is created. So evaporation is less, so there is rainfall is also less. Due to this imbalance, there is no adequate rainfall which can cause drought. And next is high population, a very small area which is densely populated. Okay, where we have so much of population that the amount of water sources what is there is not enough to support the population, that also can cause drought. And also intensive crop patterns, the type of agriculture which we are using, or what is the crop which we are growing there. So does that crop require a lot of water there? So is it in the proper manner where there is enough water resources and the type of crop which we are growing is matching with one another? All of this has to be taken care, and these are the reasons which can cause drought. Example, Maharashtra, there has been no recovery from drought from last 30 years due to over exploitation of water by sugarcane crop. See, sugarcane crop requires a lot of water. So when this particular crop was chosen to, grow there, then they use excess of water. Then what water resources are there for, there is no match with the use and the source. Okay, and this led to drought, and from past 30 years, they have not come out of the situation of drought because they have been over exploited by growing sugarcane. Okay, so this is one of the examples which I can give. There are many such examples which has caused drought in many parts of our country. Next is about the effects of drought. The first effect of drought is hunger, malnutrition, scarcity of drinking water and also changes the quality of water which is remaining. One is that. Next is it causes widespread crop failure. There is no enough water which is required for our agriculture. So the crop is not growing well, and thus which can lead to a shortage of food, of famine. Okay, and adversely affect the human and livestock population. Next is the worst situation, drought causes even desertification. Desertification can be caused. That is, the land can slowly get converted into deserts where you cannot grow anything at all. There is no enough water at all. Uh, the entire ecosystem can change because of drought, because the normal land can get slowly converted into deserts. Also, raw materials for the agro-based industries will be critically affected, and thus it will affect all the industrial as well as the commercial growth. And also, drought increases degradation of natural resources. Natural resources, whatever is there, everything starts degrading. The land resource starts degrading. The agriculture starts degrading. The forest ecosystem starts degrading. There are so many natural resources which is there. It starts getting degraded because of the drought, because water is so very important for living of any plant, animal or human being, isn't it? Then we have drought causes large migration of people from one place to another and also leads to urbanization. And urbanization has its own effect which we'll be learning later on. Okay, so these are some of the adverse effects of drought which we can see. Next is about the drought management. We require a lot of energy to manage drought. First thing is we have to learn how can we conserve water so that it will not lead to scarcity of water at all. So what we can do is we can do rainwater harvesting. So when it's raining, there is a technique in which you can conserve all the rainwater for future use, which we call it as rainwater harvesting system. So these systems can be used. Also drip irrigation can be used so that the water can be conserved. Also we can do construction of certain reservoirs to improve the groundwater level as well. And also afforestation activities has to be done so that the forest is improved, and because of the forest even the groundwater level is maintained and it will not lead to any drought formation. And also crop mixing or dry farming method has to be used, in which the methods are used in which the mixing of crop or dry farming in which water can be conserved a lot. So such methodology of agriculture also has to be used so that we can manage drought or we can manage the scarcity of water. Next is about the water conflicts. We know there is lot of conflict for water sources. That is, unequal distribution of water between the two states has led to interstate disputes as well as international disputes. And the common ones which we are seeing are national conflicts are, for Kaveri water, there is always a conflict between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Sharing of Krishna water between Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh, there is a conflict. Also for Shiruvani river, there is a conflict between Tamil Nadu and Kerala, and these are the national conflicts which we have seen in India. So these are the three major conflicts. For Kaveri water, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu will fight. For again for Krishna water, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh there is a fight, and also for Shiruvani water there is a fight between Tamil Nadu and Kerala. And basically the water for from all these rivers are used for agricultural purposes as well, not only for domestic, also for agricultural purpose. So because there is unequal distribution of water and the river is flowing in in interstate, what happens is there's a conflict which can occur, and we have been seeing all of these conflicts. The international conflict is for Indus, India and Pakistan, and for Colorado River. Okay, there is Mexico and USA which has a conflict. So these are international conflicts. One country to the other country, there is a conflict because it is flowing in two countries also. So in this, India and Pakistan, Colorado, for Mexico and USA, there's a conflict. So that's about the water conflicts which we have seen. Thank you, my dear children. I hope you have understood about today's class. Stay tuned for more updates.